Yeah, it's weird to be disappointed with second, but yeah, this series is just at a high level, and I felt okay. We got our safety culture Chevy a lot better than yesterday, but just following Tyler, his driving was immaculate, and his car was very good too. So I tried, but didn't quite have enough. But still a great points day for the 97.
What we just witnessed this weekend didn't just shake up the NASCAR Cup Series. It might have completely changed the tone of this entire season. And the wild part, that's only half the story. Because while one driver just made history in a way we have literally never seen before, there's already tension building behind the scenes. And I'm talking real tension, the kind that can turn a rivalry into something much bigger. There are two major stories coming out of COTA right now. One happened on the track, the other might be brewing in the garage area. And trust me, both of them matter if you care about this championship battle, so let's get into it, because this weekend gave us everything. Tyler Reddick just did something nobody has ever done. Tyler Reddick's height driving the 45 Toyota Kino for Kia 2390 at Kia and Kayak Racing. The team co-owned by Kia Michael Jordan and Ewan Denny Hamlin didn't just win at the U Circuit of the Americas, he made history. Reddick opened the COTA 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season with wins at Daytona, Atlanta, and now COTA. 3 consecutive victories to start a season. No driver has ever done that. Not in the modern era, not in the old school era, nobody. And it wasn't just Reddick who made history. 3Ox Racing became the first team to win the first 3 races of a season since Petty Enterprises did it back in 1960. Onte. Let that sink in. Petty Enterprises is NASCAR royalty. Pudding. 2360. In that same sentence tells you everything about what this team is doing right now. But here's what makes this win stand apart from the first 2. Reddick didn't win at a superspeedway or an oval where raw horsepower and drafting strategy can mask a team's true capability. He won at COTA, a road course, and he had to go through Shane van Gisbergen Toyota to do it. SVG is widely considered the most dangerous road course racer in the Cup Series. Beating him here on his turf wasn't a fluke. This was a statement. Nern disappeared stage 1. SVG charges, Chastain wins. Van Gisbergen started die 13th and carved his way through the field with the kind of precision that makes road course specialists dangerous. By the end of stage 1, he had worked his way up to 3rd. He and Ross Chastain had short-pitted, giving up stage points in exchange for track position, a calculated sacrifice with the long race in mind. Chastain has won stage 1, the top 10 in order. Chastain, Van Gisbergen, Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, AJ Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, Carson Hocevar de Gunda, and Denny Hamlin. Meanwhile, Ryan Blaney Neely had shown serious long-run speed early in the race. He ran down Chase Briscoe and took control of the race before strategy flipped everything upside down, heading into stage 2. Stage 2. Chaos takes over. Stage 2 is where things started unraveling for several drivers. Blaney had regained the lead during pit cycles, while Van Gisbergen restarted bar 15th on fresher tires, playing the longer strategic game. But the incidents were piling up fast. Connor Zillechen spun in turn 1 after contact from Daniel Suarez. Noah Gragson spun between turns 6A and 6B. Josh Berry looped it mid-pack, but managed to keep going. Alex Bowman received a pass-through penalty for an uncontrolled tire. Austin Dillon lost major time with a broken shifter. Surviving this race was as much a part of winning it as pure speed. Up front, Reddick took control of the lead for the first time since starting from pole. Then, with 3 laps to go in stage 2, he did something that separates race winners from championship contenders. He pitted from the lead, deliberately sacrificing stage points in exchange for better race positioning. That decision allowed Sandy, Freddie Gibbs count to win stage 2. The top 10. Gibbs, Allmendinger, Suarez, Todd Gilliland, Reddick, Bubba Wallace, Blaney, Cole Custer, William Byron, and Van Gisbergen. Championship mindset. Sacrifice short-term points for the long game. Stage 3. The race within the race. The final stage opened with Reddick and Blaney out front, and Van Gisbergen that slotted into fifth, lurking, calculating. Eric Jones spun in the back but recovered. Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell were beating and banging in a heated battle inside the top 10. Then disaster struck for Barun Bud Chase Briscoe. Something broke in the rear end with 32 laps to go. He was running top 5 at the time and became the first car to head to the garage. Green flag pit stops began. Reddick pitted with 26 laps left. Blaney followed. Van Gisbergen came in a lap later. Then Chaos. Ross Chastain, your Stage 1 winner, spun off track because of a loose wheel that actually came completely off the car. NASCAR threw a caution. Chastain was held for 2 laps with penalties coming the following week. During the caution, some cars pitted for fresh tires. But Reddick, Blaney, Van Gisbergen, and Botzilish stayed out on older tires. That decision, staying out versus pitting, became the defining strategic moment of the race. Separately, Alex Bowman Econcoursier climbed out of the Youngcom 48-8 Hendrick Motorsports, Chevrolet feeling ill, and Matt Snyder stepped in to finish the race. On the restart, Van Gisbergen gelled past Blaney for second. Zilish Nibel spun again in turn 1, his second spin of the day. Zane Smith got caught up and his day was effectively done. Further back, the Kyle Busch Untard made contact with teammate Jesse Love, which sent Chris Bouchardal spinning at the exit of the final corner. Jar, Reddick versus SVG, the battle that defined the day. It came down to exactly what everyone wanted. Reddick versus Van Gisbergen, head-to-head. Christopher Bell, he on fresh tires, powered his way to third but never got close enough to challenge the front two. Bijingwa closed in. He was stalking Reddick. You could see him calculating every corner entry. Everyone watching was thinking, here it comes. But he never got the run he needed. Reddick held steady, calm, smooth, no mistakes. With 5 laps to go, SVG started to fade, tire wear, dirty air, whatever the reason. Reddick drove away. He crossed the line. Nearly 4 seconds ahead, the final top 5, Reddick, Van Gisbergen for Trackhouse Racing, Christopher Bell for Joe Gibbs Racing, T. Gibbs for Joe Gibbs Racing, and Michael McDowell for Third Spire Motorsports. Rounding out the top 10, Larson, Elliott, Blaney, Allmendinger, and Tate Hamlin. The race ran 95 laps in 2 hours, 58 minutes, and 52 seconds. Reddick himself acknowledged that beating SVG on a road course, the guy he had been chasing for a while, made this particular win the sweetest of the 3. 3 races, 3 wins, and a rival who now has every reason to be frustrated. The tension that's now building in the garage. Now that's where the second story comes in, because apparently not everyone in the garage is just tipping their hat. According to reports from sources close to the paddock, Shane Van Gisbergen allegedly made strong internal remarks questioning Reddick's on performance. These were not public comments. They were reportedly private conversations with team members and close associates, but they leaked. And what's being claimed is significant. The specific allegations floating around include the suggestion that Reddick's car carries an invisible aerodynamic advantage, that the cornering grip appeared above normal standards, that straight-line speed seemed stronger than the field could explain, and that tire wear appeared unusually low compared to competing cars. There were also references to subtle aerodynamic tweaks that are difficult to detect, possibly strategically positioned ballast to improve weight distribution and superior stability on corner exit. Let me be direct about something important here. There is zero official confirmation of anything irregular. NASCAR has not announced an investigation. 23-6 NIA Racing has not released a statement. Nothing formal has happened. These are reportedly private remarks that found their way out of the paddock, and that distinction matters. Despite the absence of any formal action, insiders are saying the mood in the garage is tense. And when you think about it from a competitor's standpoint, 3 straight wins, dominant at COTA where SVG was expected to control the day, comfortable margin under pressure. When someone wins like that in the next-gen era, where everything is supposed to be so tightly regulated, people start looking. When you're making history, people are going to question you. Two interpretations. One, rivalry elevated. There are two ways to read the situation. The first interpretation, this is frustration from a competitor who just got beaten straight up. Spakaha. Expected to dominate COTA and didn't. Losing to someone on your home track, the track where your skill set is supposed to be the great equalizer. That stings. Venting happens in private. The second interpretation, there is genuine technical concern brewing inside the paddock. The kind that could lead to formal complaints, NASCAR inspections, or a controversy that defines the entire season narrative. As it stands right now, unless NASCAR finds something, this is just talk. But here's what it absolutely does. It cranks the Reddick versus Van Gisbergen rivalry to another level entirely. It's no longer just about road courses. It's about pride. It's about legitimacy. It's about dominance. From a championship standpoint, Reddick's size is sitting on top of the standings with 3 playoff berths, essentially locked in already, and momentum that no other driver in the field can currently match. If this stays clean, we could be watching one of the greatest season starts in modern NASCAR history. If it turns controversial, this could explode into the biggest technical storyline of the year, overshadowing everything else on the schedule. The early 2026 season just became must-watch every single week. The racing, the strategy, the drama, the rivalries. This is exactly why this sport commands the attention it does. Is this just competitive frustration talking, or is there something deeper here? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.